All right, so another song that I think that really showed awareness in hip hop culture was Super Friends. And the reason why I bring that song up is because you're introducing the next generation of artists, and you even had a father-son collab on the song. And I was privileged to see that song perform live, but I don't think people understand how important it is to include your legacy or establish a legacy for people to recognize. So as an MC, how important was it for you to have on your project the new MCs and the new voices be heard?
I mean,
you made a Justice League or the Super
that
Friends.
song is if you wanna say Wondrous Fangirl remix, then that song is the other side of the coin. That's a classic cipher in itself. It's levels. Number one, you got to understand that Stanley Ipkiss Jr. is also known as Spider-Man, and he really wanted to be in the Spider-Man beat. But when Ipkiss gave me that beat, it's like I necked it. I wrote to it in a half hour. I couldn't stop writing. It was too hot. So the whole Super Friends beat was actually just made for Stan and I to share a song about friendship, about the epitome of what the Super Friends is about. And here comes Big Stan with, well, why just do a song with my son? Why not throw Marcus on it? Well, if you're gonna throw Marcus on it, you gotta throw Chaos the Barbarian on it, So then there were four. Had a list of other MCs I had wanted to work with that did not work out. We were doing the project with Push Buttons. Ipkiss, Marcus, and Chaos are all friends with Idmatic. I thought it would be the perfect end of the song, of course, and again, if I don't sound right on a song with all girls, I don't really sound right on a song with all kids, so I had to include another adult on the song. How do I do it? I get a father and son to go back and forth, which I'm not even sure if they've ever done. They've done that a long time ago, but they haven't done that recently, and you get a classic, which is Born. And I believe that's the beat that's the Big Stan said he had a little bit of a problem with. He was not feeling that sample. He was
no, it wasn't the sample I wasn't feeling. It was how it was coming out. Like, it was just the drums. I couldn't really.
The drums messed it up for me. Well, you know what's deep?
So Push came in and he added a little bit to the drums. And I don't mean to cut you off, but when you say themes, it's like everything is thought about, right? So that song is very near the Batman song and the Wondrous song. And I think about things and I overanalyze things, and sometimes Stan says I think too much, but for the cats that's saying complete the fifth to this song, oh Deuce, why'd you change your style? You're rapping fast. Nah, you put these guys on it, they're rapping fast, I'm rapping different. That's what that song is for.
Okay. Now, like I said, we have generational gaps in hip hop. We have issues with young MCs calling the elder veteran MCs whack, and we have our generation saying, y'all not real hip hop, which I think is bad on both sides because we're burning both bridges. I think it's a sin for a father to ever cut his son off from his legacy, and that's what we're doing. And I heard a young man say, my generation died when our father was born. That's a hard thing. So for hip hop, we have the chance to build bridges with our young men and young women by showing them you are hip hop, but let me expose you to what I listen to in hip hop. And when I talked to Stan, I told him, you remind me of a very young Buckshot. I told him a line. The mind tricks the body thinks the mind's crazy. He thought I told him something that was like biblical or something. He was like floored. I'm like, nah, I think, you should try Black Moon out. Stan, when it came to the beat, you took something very, like Super Friends had 3-4 seasons? It was something that...
Sure. But no, it had more than 3-4 seasons, all right? So stop. You got the Super Friends with Marvin Wendy, right? You got the Super Friends with the Wonder Twins. You got the Challenge of the Super Friends, my favorite, with the Legion of Doom. You have a couple of seasons of Superpowers where they throw Cyborg on there. Notice on the hook, everyone I named is not a Justice League member. They are all Super Friends members. Go look it up.
When you did that and you put the song in there, right? Was the preface to make the song as strong as the message, because every hero has a theme song. Shout out to Keenan Ivory Wayans, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing about Super Friends sonically is that horn means is a message coming, there's something powerful coming. And like if anybody knows anything about royalty, when the king and queen comes into the court, everybody stands and them horns is going off. So when the horns came in for Super Friends and you married it in with the drop and everything, it was like, oh, something coming. Was that what you tried to or that what you did? And what you did, is that the message you were giving us?
That beat, I would say Deuce had a lot to do with that beat. He kind of guided me with that beat. Even with the Super Friends transition that's in there, like I would say that beat, you know, I put my little thing in it with cut up the sample, but Deuce guided me through it. So I give a lot of credit to
by the time we're on that beat, we're towards the end of the project. The phenomenal one. By the time we get to Super Friends beat, we are at the end of what started off as a strong EP, and the Super Friends song is one of the last songs we're doing. We're only doing this beat because Stan because I promised Stan he would be on the song. The song he was supposed to be on, couldn't be on. So we're actually trying to, you know, hurry up and do this beat because we have studio time here. So, you know, when he says it's on me, it's not on me. I sent him a bunch of samples. Right. I sent him a bunch of samples, and I gave him my idea of what I wanted. I included the these are the Super Friends because, like I said, it's the end of the project. The project can't be all freestyle songs. We don't like all freestyle songs. We need a strong subject. So I thought, you know, friendship was a strong subject. It's a message that an older generation could pass on to a younger generation. It was something to have fun on. How this man put the sounds together, that's him. How he sequenced the beat. Yo, here's a secret. Like, I'm not first because I can't rap to the first part of the beat because there's a jump in there that the kids just jumped all over. And I'm like, nah, give me the other part of the beat. The beats are different and intricate, yeah. There's part of the beat where it goes to a 5, but I don't want to give away too many of this man's secrets.
I don't think I have secrets.
I don't think anybody knows what I'm talking about when I say the beat goes to a 5. It goes from a 4 to a 5 in the part.
But I mean, even with that, Idmatic, Push Buttons, Father-Son Tandem, and they both show their behinds on that song.
God, dog, they made me want to go back and hold. I should write it over. Like, if you listen to what they are saying,
yeah,
Stone Cold, who you know could go against the Legion? God, dog, double entendre, 500 points.
So I mean, even with Super Friends, the marriage of generations is something that has to happen in hip hop to keep hip hop legitimate and sane.
And I was gonna say that these are young men, but they're not young MCs. Like, these are not cookie cutter MCs. Each one of them are different, and they are gonna aspire to greatness. These boys is gonna take over the game. Yeah, check out that Unplugged out now.
Yeah, I be down for the crew, hating on the thing, down goes you. I be rolling with the squad, never independent, chilling like a villain, really with it. Spot the enemy, we load up and we get them. Yeah, step in my shoes, it's gonna be hard to fit them. Gotta kick it up with the rhythm, or convince them that I finish them. Get the pimple and sick, I'ma wish them to another dimension. I'm itching for men and women to listen to the sound.
How many of us have